Alrighty folks, we are at the Golf Club of Edmond. This video has probably come out already, but not with commentary, so I'm going to walk you through this round. It's one of the better rounds I've had on camera, and we got some good moments. So we start off here on one with a major chunk. If you look at that divot, the entire divot is behind the ball, so it doesn't even carry this first little hump. I'm up here on top of the hump. I definitely move the ball just a tad there, and then it's only like 130 to the pin. This should be an easy one. Almost a worse chunk. This one comes down. I thought it was going in the water, but it's gonna hang up right on the edge. So hitting 3 here on an opening par 4 over water, kind of a little knee shaker, and I caught it clean, went just a little too far, but on a decent line. So now shot number 4 coming up. This would be an amazing par save. It's really downhill, you can't quite tell from this angle, but the hill just kind of takes it, and now that leaves a left to righter that I felt really comfortable over, but pushed it. And I had to remind myself at that moment that with this putter that I have, just gotta kind of hold it a little closed, and that's me talking to myself there. Par 5 second. This one, you can pretty much aim wherever. I hit this really good, just came right through it and hit a solid drive right down the middle of the fairway. Sitting in the middle of the fairway, it's about 230, and I don't want to go for it the water left, and so I want to just hit a nice layup like 190, leave a little chip. I absolutely toe the crap out of it, and it hits that tree over there on the right and then rolls left and ends up in a pretty decent spot. And yeah, relief. Next shot is just a little chip. We're gonna see Tom hit one here. He's also just laying up, and a good one. And we're headed over to the ball. It's sitting in some kind of taller tuft of grass, but it's sitting up nice enough. 100 yards in, know what the club is, and that's certainly the best swing of the day so far. It stays right on line, goes a little long. I wish it would have caught this little ridge that's on this green, the pin down below the ridge today, and my ball sitting right up at the top of it. We were about 2 yards from going down the hill and being pretty close to the hole there. Getting a little view of Edmond. This is a pretty nice course. This putt just tapping it, the hill takes it, and I got the speed okay. Just aimed a little more left, and it didn't break towards the water like I thought it was going to. After hole number 1, I really wanted to knock that in and secure the par on a short putt. I didn't want to start the trend of missing those. Alright. Third hole. Par 3. It's only like 125 from the white tees today. And I felt good over it. I've found that going from the sim to real life, I need to line up my shot a little more, and picking out a little spot in front of the ball seems to work. Here, I didn't really do that, and I completely opened the face at impact and just sprayed it right. It ended up being pretty hole high, but I'm here in the rough kind of fringe area. Everything's dead though, so it acts basically like green anyway. And I actually gave this a pretty good run. It's starting to turn in, and it misses the pin by maybe a ½ inch on the right hand side on the high side. So a pretty good putt there on 3, and that's going to be another tap in for a par. So 2 pars in a row, and that's really what we want to see when I'm out in real life, just hitting fairways, getting close to the green, getting close on the next shot, and tapping in. That's kind of where I live and where I want to live. Here's a big triumph for me. The reason I'm so excited here is I have absolutely been struggling at this point hitting 4 or 5 iron, 3 iron, driving iron, and it's like a mental thing. And here I got a 5 or a 4 or something in hand, and I just want to hit it clean, and I did. And you run out of room here on this one, so it was just going to be a 200-yard shot anyway. I think Tom here smashed like a 7 iron and hit it past me. To be fair, the lofts on our clubs are quite different. From here, it's only about 60 yards, I think. I think it measured like 58. So it's just going to punch a 54 degree right at the pin, and kind of nerve-wracking. Water the whole way. Stayed true on line, and it was a pretty good distance. It went a little far, but I was a little afraid of the water as well. Tom going with the low stinger in there, and that one a very good shot as well. Both of us with decent looks at birdie here. Tom securing the par nicely, and we'll see what I can do here with a birdie putt. I need to learn where to put the camera, not on my butt side of the putts. This is only really my second time filming and playing, so I was getting used to it, and I screwed up another hole here coming up, where I definitely should have had a different angle going into the putt, but really kind of pulled this one left and had a little knee knocker there and run away from that one with another par. Here's a big mistake by me, not on this shot, but setting up for the next shot. This is a short par 4, just an iron off the tee. We've only hit driver once in the first 5 holes here. I'm trying to just repeat the last hole, and I had to really get myself out of the way to make contact, but it ended up pretty straight and in a perfect place. So the only place you can't go is right, and I'm sitting there telling myself, don't go right, don't go right, don't go right, and everything's kind of leaning that way, and I didn't really compensate, and I just blocked it straight right. It lands on the cart path, rolls down, and hits in the water. So now I'm 20 feet below the hole on a slope, dropping from the water, and I take a full swing, basically flop shot, that just trickles on the edge of the green and ends up hole high. And I really wanted to make this next putt to secure a bogey with a water ball. And I left it 1/2 inch short. It just did not take one more roll. So not really the best. Like 3 good shots in that hole, just one bad one. There's another par 5, I believe. And we're sitting there with 2 double bogeys on the front, and we got to eliminate those, obviously, next round. Tom with a good drive. It's over on the right-hand side by those trees in the fairway. Past the bunker. The bunker's only about 200. Trees are a little farther. Didn't quite feel good over this one, and it shows with my footwork and with the result here. Just really left the face open, came across, ended up almost behind those trees here. And this is probably not the move. This is actually a really, really long par 4. I apologize, but I'm really far away, like 250. And so I think I'll just hit this 3-wood and kind of cut it around the tree. And I cut it through the tree and into the woods on the right. So coming off a double bogey and launching it into the woods, now hitting the 3rd shot, and I have a little bit of a gap to just kind of get back in play, and I catch it just a tad heavy, and it comes up just short, but then it has its own angle to the hole a little bit right through this gap. And so now we're hitting 4, and that one actually ends up okay. It's on the green. It's about hole high. It's just right. And this has got to be a par 5. I'll check the scorecard, but or we'll see here with the score. Tough putt, downhill, right to left. Running through the woods for the last 20 minutes. It just comes up real short. It's just not really where you want to be. I was really hoping to make that, to make this one a little bit of a tap in, but now it's a tester. And I blocked it. So 6 and a 7 on there. And that was a par 4. Yeah, that's the long par 4. So double, a double, and a triple, and then some good golf in between. We come up across a par 3. It's about 170 today, and it looks like I'm aimed okay, maybe a little left, but I end up grabbing the outside of the ball and just yanking it left with kind of a terrible outside in swing. And at that point the beanie comes off, and really the game starts to change when the beanie comes off. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty freeing to get that thing off of there. A nice little soft hands chip that rolls to a tap in, and that's how we start off our beanie free rest of the round. Got a lot of work to do here at +7. That'd be a little tap in and a par with a good little quasi sand save from over here behind this little hump. Tom also tapping in a par there. We head over to this is the 8th hole. It's a wide open fairway, but I absolutely did it again with the driver. Since this round, working in the garage, I've done a lot of work with the driver, and I think I've figured some stuff out. I'm excited to get back out and play again. This shot is a pretty good one, taking kind of dead aim at the green from way back on the right side, and just coming up a little left of the green, or left of the hole. This is a huge tiered green though, and that hole's on the bottom tier. You see, I'm on the top tier left side, so I go up and I look where there might be a straight line towards the hole, And I'm like, if I can drop it down the hill, kind of where I think it could roll straight, I'll give it a chance. Boom. Just a 1 in 1,000 putt for someone of my caliber. But after a bad drive, a pretty good second that just ends up in a terrible place, and the putt of a lifetime going straight left, grabbing the hill. There it grabs it. It's going down. It's going way too fast. Hits the pin, rattles, and gets home. And that just lifted my entire round from there. We go to the 9th hole. And yeah, I need to close the face is what I'm talking about right there. I'm like, please God, close the face. So this one is a par 5. Gonna give it a little poke here. I like where that one started, where I could see it. It ends up fading just a little bit to the right, but seems to be in a good place. This ball is absolutely crushed, so I wanted to highlight Tom's smashing a 3-wood, like 260, off of a terrible lie. And here's me trying to hit a 3-wood, and I hit it okay. It kind of flares up right and flirts with the water a little bit, but I started it left enough that we ended up right here. Got about 120 left. Pin's in a weird place, and I hit it perfect, but distance-wise, but just yanked it left. The divot's facing exactly where it ended up. So maybe lined up bad. It just ends up in the fringe right here, but you can see pretty good distance control. And we'll be putting that. This for a birdie. I don't like something about it. And we're off. A little bit of a pistol grip. Giving it a run. Takes a big right hand turn. And that burned the edge there on the low side. The putter did really good all day. I only had a couple really bad putts. That one right in there. And a par on 9. Head over to the 10th hole. Back 9 coming. This is a short par 3, playing about 120 today. And when I hit this, I thought it had a little bit of a chance to fade back towards the hole. It kind of stayed level and straight. Ended up on the left side of the green. This is one of those where I was a little upset that I'm an idiot and don't do this very often. Because if the camera showed the pin at all, this thing actually lips out. So we go like 40-foot putt, and it dies next to the hole and lips over it. And it was quite the effort. Here's something that you'll almost never see me do. And I was surprised that it was even possible. I said, I'm going to hit a draw that's going to start at that big tree, and it's going to go all the way left around this lake, basically. And so I closed the face off, aimed way over there, and just tried to catch the outside of the ball and lead with the toe. And this thing was perfect. Perfect. It took off. It bent around all the trees on the left. It skipped. It had low spin, and it started running up towards the green, ending up about 40 yards short. And so I can hit a draw. That was the first one of my life, but it did happen. The chip was actually pretty good. Lands just left and long. Wish I would have gave it a little less and had it run up there a little bit. Maybe even taken a pitching wedge or something and given it a chance to roll. Tough little putt downhill. It's going to be a left to righter. I think I have a good read on it though. Brutal. Just puts the brakes on hard right as it was about to go in the hole. A missed birdie opportunity. Well, not missed opportunity. I thought it was a good putt, and it was a good try at birdie. So head over to, what are we on now? 12. This one has this weird like canyon down on the right hand side where the ground's kind of been deteriorating. I actually flew it long enough with a hybrid to get in that canyon. It's over there on the right, but when it was in perfect position here, there's only about 80 left, and you could see the ball started on a really good line, and it just sat dead left of the flag, maybe 8 feet. So 2 back-to-back really good birdie opportunities here. I really wanted to roll this one in. And I gave it enough pace, probably too much pace. Now I have a little knee knocker coming back, but I didn't get it on the high side. Like, I just needed that on the high side, and now this for par, where really scary putt, but tried and true. And yeah, I tried it again and hit the exact same putt, just so everyone knows. Second golfer would have missed it. That tree on the left is only about 200, and you can go over it and be in a good place here. Another short par 4. And that was probably my most relaxed turn takeaway. And I say on camera there that that might have been the best drive of my life. It came out no spin, laser beam, straight, knuckleball, 18 launch, and it ends up in a really good place. Take a look at Tom's little chip here. And that was a pretty good effort. Here's where it ended up. And it's like a, it's like a 350 yard par 4, 360 yard par 4. So, and with dead grass, it's going to roll a little bit when it's knuckling like that. So, but executing it, getting it here, giving yourself another chance at birdie. I mean, if I was putting any better, we would be in really good shape here. But giving, really the name of the game when I'm playing outdoors with my friends is just have a birdie putt and then try and 2-putt it like that. If you do that, it's okay. This was crazy to me. I landed it left of the hole and behind it, and it caught this ridge and just shot over to the right. And I had no idea that it would do that. The ridge actually looks like it's rolling backwards towards me. I was going to try and use it as a backstop, and it went way right. It's just crazy. The other ball was my other attempt to prove that that was actually happening. There's just some weird slope there. Tough birdie putt. Not expecting this to go in, but really want to just have a tap in for par, and left it really on the low side. No chance. Another par secured though, and heading over to a par 3. This a really kind of a bad hole creeping in here on this par 3. Flag's right in the middle. It's definitely a makeable distance where you just need to kind of send it on its way and you'll have a decent shot at birdie. But kind of with the other couple bad shots in this round, this one's just going to shoot right. And I'm kind of aimed over there. I just never turned the face back around to hit that draw that I must have been trying to hit. And so I'm down in this like little collection area. It's not the worst lie ever, but I wanted to just kind of float it up there with no spin, and I swing right underneath it. Goes nowhere. Sits on the edge. Now I'm putting. And there it goes. Green is actually a decent effort with the putter there for 3. But now with the 4th shot upcoming, I'm hoping to get that bogey out of my mind as we go to 14. Yeah, 14. Downhill, the fairway ends at like 180 yards, but you can just kind of hit the driver into the rough. And usually it's not that big of a penalty, really. You're just staring at the green, and this green is so stupid anyway. It's on an absolute hill. Everything slopes. There's tiers to it as well. So depending on where the pin is, it's an absolute nightmare. The drive was dead straight. It's on kind of a side hill, and the pin is on the low side. Squirrel. And I chunked it. There's just no other way around that. Didn't even give it a chance to get up there. It was kind of uphill and left, and I chunked it. So now this is a much more difficult shot where I don't have any choices at all of what to do. I need to hit some sort of little mini flop, which I try and do. And I gave it a decent effort. It kind of checked, but like I said, the green is completely sloped. You can kind of see with the house in the background how sloped it is. But in real life and with golf balls, it's atrocious. And the tiers just go higher and higher and higher. The difference between where my ball is and the edge of the green behind me is like 10 feet. It's not 10 feet. I exaggerated. 3 feet. Really wanted that one. Another one that's just not high enough. So the last time I filmed myself playing golf, I noticed that all the putts were pushed right. And so this time around, I'm kind of noticing that all of the putts, I'm just not giving it enough break. Here I try and hit that draw again, and I do. But it starts down the middle, and with this wind, it draws into the water. So a long period there in the middle of this round of really good, solid golf, birdie putts, tap-in pars, and a bogey, and now a water ball. 6-iron in from here, about 170. And I actually hit that really good. The wind kind of holds it up, and it's a decent shot up there on the green. Would have been nice if it was the second shot, but it was the third, and now hitting 4 for a par. This would be a wicked par save, and I gave it enough, but it lips out. I gave it enough, and by then I was having a lot of fun just knowing that the putter was going to have a chance, and so I was giving it some reactions and feeling pretty frosty, trying to get the putter going. I'd still be happy with this as a bogey save. Tom made that little distance look easy. And I do as well. Alright, so hitting it in the water, but kind of like a sand save almost with a bogey. And we're off to 17. Another par 3, and I actually thought I hit this really good. Pins in the front, and I got through that really nice, and it just took off. No spin, went all the way over the green, and this is another one. It's the same type of landscape. It's going all downhill from here, And so trying to judge this was a little tough. And certainly we can improve on the videography, because I'm not even in frame almost. But yeah, trying to figure out which way this is going to go, and I decide on just hitting it straight. It is a little bit right to left though. And I yank it left. So it start it left, it goes left, and then it goes a little long. Not too bad on the distance, but again, everything kind of sloping, and I can already see this might be on the low side as well with how I'm lined up. Yep. And not by much, right? So adjustments made for next time, and maybe we're making some of these par putts and birdie putts, and the score would be much different. We're going to take a bogey there on a 17 though, and head to plus 10. Now the tees were way up on this par 5, and in reality this got caught up in the driving range, but for me and my friends, that's not that big a deal. You can, if no one's in the driving range, you can play it, or we just took it on the other side of the fence and hitting our second from there, and it was only like 160. And so again, camera work not the best, footwork not the best, contact was excellent though, and it went right over the pin, and I thought, hell yeah, we got a chance here. It ends up rolling downwind, you see there, and here's the putt that this makes you come back to play golf. Perfect pace, starts dying. I mean, that looks, I'm so glad I filmed that, because it looks like it looks like a PGA Tour player putted it with the pace, and it died right in the hole. And end on a really good note there with an eagle on the short dogleg par 5. Golf Club of Edmond is a great place if you're ever in the Oklahoma City area. My friend is the greenskeeper there, keeps it in great shape. Even during the winter, the greens were rolling absolutely perfect. So let me know what you think, and we will see you with more sim golf ASAP as we get back in the garage and get recording. Peace.